Aquarius, welcome back to the channel. Welcome in, guys. I hope all is well with you. If you tuned in and you were drawn in by the title, there may be messages for you here. I almost called you Capricorn. You may have Capricorn in your chart. Okay, if you're new to the channel, welcome in. Aquarius energy. Only take what resonates with you, leave the rest. Aquarius energy. We're going to see what's going on in these spiritual streets for Aquarius. Okay, I thank you guys for your support. Thank you for being here. Overall, I thank you for your patience. Okay, Aquarius energy. I thank you for your patience. I really do. Thank you guys. I appreciate you more than you know. Aquarius energy. We're going to see what's going on in these spiritual streets for Aquarius. We're going to start off with the Declare and Decree deck. Okay. Alright, so we're going to start off with the Declare and Decree deck. Okay, Aquarius. This is not for everybody though. This is spiritual. However, everybody's not spiritual. Everybody's not religious. So only choose what works best for you. This is my Declare and Decree deck. Each card has a ritual written on it, right? So you write down a ritual, set your intentions to release the negative energies. Give thanks to the Most High Mother and Father, your spiritual team, for assisting you with releasing that negative energy, and you burn it. Yes, you turn around and you burn it. Once you write it down, you writing it down, that makes it real, right? Like an author that writes a book. You're writing it down on paper, you're setting your intentions. I want to release this negative energy. Whatever that negative energy shows up to be, I want to release that negative energy. This is what I want to release. Thank you, Most High Mother and Father, and my spiritual team for helping me to release this and set fire to it. What does fire do? Fire demolishes it, right? You set fire to paper, it starts to burn it up and crinkle it all up and get it to burning, and before you know it, it transforms into what? Ashes. 212 on the timer. Change is here. Definitely. Okay? Change is definitely here. 222 on the timer. Partnerships. Balance. Harmony. Change is here. Aquarius energy. Okay? So when you burn the paper and it forms into ashes, you just did a form of releasing. It's like magic. Like blowing the ashes over the bench over there. Just blow it on over, right? So that's what this is. A form of burning and releasing for those of you who are new. Okay, because most of my subscribers, by now, they should know this is what I do on my channel. Burning and releasing is the first thing I take charge in. Okay, because it works. Alright, so this is my Declare and Decree deck. That's how this operates. If it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not, then it's not. Alright, let's see what we have here for Aquarius. Alright. Okay, Aquarius, so we have all internal fear of my divine power is now destroyed from my energy in spirit and in flesh. All internal fear of my divine power. A lot of people may say, what do you mean divine power? What divine power, right? Because some people don't really understand all that. They're not into any spirituality, so they don't get it. Divine power is the thing that really describes your gifts, your divine gifts, things that's within you, things that you pick up on and you learn through experiences of life. Okay, like for example, heartbreak. No one wants to experience heartbreak, right? Because it's painful. But the thing about heartbreak is that you learn through other individuals, because you give people a chance to be in your life. You're not realizing your worth. You're not realizing how you're supposed to be treated. You're not realizing how important reciprocity is. You're not realizing how important it is to be equally yoked with a person, not knowing that, hey, they're going one way, I'm going another, 444 on the timer. So whoever's watching this, you're very protected. But you need to understand that sometimes people want something different. You may want something different. What do? You end up going separate ways, right? That could be heartbreaking. You get involved with a person, you in a relationship for long term, you have children with them, you build with them, you have home with them, you have car with them, you have money with them, bank accounts, right? So now you've built a family, and then it all demolishes and it all crumbles, and you're trying to figure out how did that happen. Well, there's lessons in the heartbreak, and because you have to learn these lessons and you take those lessons and you start to build with it, you have to know that you need to build with it. And that's when a lot of times we go through heartbreak. Heartbreaks can cause awakenings. What are you awakening to? I'm awakening to the fact that I'm not loving myself enough. I'm not nurturing myself enough. I don't know my worth. I don't have enough confidence. I don't have enough self-esteem, right? I'm not strong enough mentally, spiritually, or emotionally to tap in spiritually to get divine help, so we can get some divine order up in here, right? So you have to tap in spiritually in order to understand I suffered the heartbreak for a reason. Now it's caused an awakening, which is a tower in my life. Now I got to understand, why is this happening? Why didn't all this work? Well, because I didn't know my worth. I mean, you could have been dealing with, and all this is just an example of how you end up realizing you have divine power, because there's an internal fear of divine power here. How do you even get divine power? How do you even realize it's there? First, you got to go through something. First, you got to have an experience of life, experiencing letdowns and disappointments and heartbreaks and stuff like that. Learning your worth, learning who you are spiritually, learning who you are mentally, paying attention to how you feel energetically. Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel excited? What are you feeling? What are you doing? Are you living? Are you existing? What are you doing? What are you learning? Heartbreak normally is supposed to help you to gain strength. Well, sometimes it doesn't. It turns people cold. Where you go cold-hearted because of heartbreaks. And most of people go cold before they learn to heal. Most people go cold first. So as you can see from what I'm explaining to you, Aquarius energy, is that a lot of times you have to go through experiences of life in order to learn from those experiences and gain strength from those experiences and gain knowledge from those experiences, also gaining wisdom from those particular experiences that have caused heartbreak, right? And realizing what in that I could have done differently, to where I could have taught this person how to treat me. Maybe the relationship would have worked better if I would have had boundaries, if I would have spoke up, if I would have did this, if I would have did that. But it's all working for you, but it feels like it's working against you. But it's for you to learn some things. Why? So I can become stronger. Intellectually, spiritually, and mentally, I need to become stronger. I need to become wiser. But the only way to gain that strength, the only way to gain that wisdom, is to go through the heartache, the pain, feeling like I wasted my time. I lost the house, I lost the car, I lost my kids, I lost my money, I lost my job. Look at all these losses that I took. And the whole time it does not feel like it has anything to do with anything divine, or having power, or having gifts, or having spiritual gifts to teach other people. It doesn't feel like any of that, because you're not thinking about any of that. You're thinking about the hardship of it, how bad it feels, and how much it interrupts your life. For whoever needs to hear this, this is how you end up finding out about your divine power, because spiritual awakenings happen. Towers happens. Life starts happening. Life begins to crumble. Spouses begin to leave and walk away. Children become lost in the system. These are real life things that happen. And you're trying to figure out what is going on here. Because there's a bigger picture, because there's lessons to be learned, and there's something for you to do. A lot of people that stumble up on their divine power, a lot of times there are people who have a mission to teach others. Okay? Everybody don't have that mission, but a lot of people do. It's their destiny, it's a destiny for them to reach the point of not understanding what's going on in their tangible reality life in order for them to begin to soul search and want something different, crave something different, crave a new life, crave new people in your life. And the whole while you're being spiritually guided, but you don't know that yet. Being led to leave people alone, walk away from people, stop talking to people. And then you experience a lot of loss. At least it feels that way at first. But this is how you come up on your divine power. Okay, whoever needs to hear that. Then, Aquarius, you have all curses of Deuteronomy over myself and my lineage. This has to do with curses that were placed over melanated people many, many, many years ago. And this has to do with the structure of religion, the Bible. It has a lot to do with that structure, okay? To where there were a lot of curses that were spoke over a race of people, intentionally to bind them spiritually, to control them, to enslave them spiritually. Because if you can trap a person spiritually, then they will be blocked when it comes to the regular 3D world, the regular tangible world that you see outside of you every day. If a person can bind you in the spirit, they can block you in your tangible world. Okay? And that has to do with curses of Deuteronomy. All right. So when it says all curses of Deuteronomy over myself and my lineage, we're talking about your bloodline. And this is for those who may not have been introduced to this. This is for those who may not have an understanding when it comes to spirituality. Because spiritual things, that's what this is about. That's why it's called burning and releasing. Because people can speak things over you. People can wish bad upon you spiritually. And they can end up coming after you spiritually. Subconsciously, people do it. And sometimes people do it, they don't even realize they're doing it. Because they may envy you, or they don't like you, or for whatever reason they call themselves being mad about whatever you got going in your life, or just you as a person. They don't want to see you make it. Some people are discriminating because of what you look like, or discriminating because of who you are, or where you live, or how you carry yourself, or they discriminate because of the color of your skin, or any kind of discriminations and things like that. It all has to do with people spiritually. They come up against you. They wish bad upon you. And then they become what they call monitoring spirits. Okay? Evil eye. Blocking spells. Black magic. Rituals. All that stuff that they do that's low vibrational. Where, again, when it comes to curses of Deuteronomy, there were curses that were actually spoken over a certain race of people. And that was in order to control that certain race and take away from that certain race and belittle that certain race, okay, in order to hold them back in life so that they don't achieve, they don't ever win. This was purposely done. And it had to do with the generation that was before them and the generation that was after them. Okay, so the curses of Deuteronomy goes deep. It runs very deep. So you want to write this, excuse me. That's confirmation for someone, excuse me. You want to write down all curses of Deuteronomy over myself and my lineage are destroyed in spirit and in flesh. Someone here needs to write this down. If you didn't, it wouldn't have come out. It's for someone. And it could very well be for someone new that's watching. You need to write it down and actually begin to practice some type of spirituality. 1444 on the timer. You need to practice some type of spirituality to continue and form protection in your life and balance on a healthy level spiritually, whoever that's for, okay? Aquarius energy, only take what resonates with you, leave the rest. There will be no new beginnings coming for you, Aquarius, new beginnings, okay? New beginnings. New beginnings and people that don't want to see you with it. People that don't want to see you win. But these particular people, you're going to cut them out. You're going to cut them off. Because you're in a very balanced energy and very abundant. Okay? You're in a very balanced energy right now. Okay? Yeah. You have some decisions to make. Let's see, Aquarius, what you have here. Okay, yeah, you have the Tower. I told you balance, temperance is here. Told you, yeah, I told you you're winning. You're going to win. You're going to win. 6 of Wands energy. And the 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're focused. You're focused on yourself. You're focused on winning. You're focused on change. You're focused on balance. All right? You're focused. Very much focused. You're working on yourself. 8 of Cups energy. Page of Cups. King of Swords and the King of Cups. Okay? That's a possibility. Aquarius, you may have a King of Cups that may want to, I don't know, offer an apology to you. You have the Queen of Swords, so you have the King and Queen here. King and Queen of Swords, you see. So, there's spiritual intervention here as well. Someone is shocked and someone has someone is fidgety or nervous about coming to you or apologizing to you or admitting something they did wrong or asking for your forgiveness. Somebody's nervous about it. They're nervous, very nervous. They're afraid to ask for forgiveness, or they're afraid to apologize, or they know they need to. They may be afraid that you may completely cut them out or not want to speak to them at all. Queen of Swords energy. Someone sees you winning though, and they could be your biggest fan. Okay? Yeah. Somebody wants to start over, start fresh. They want to start something over, but they want to like move slowly about it. They want to take their time and do something slowly, or they're unsure because I think someone has learned a lesson. Someone has learned a lesson here. Aquarius. You have the Chariot coming out. Cancer energy. King of Wands energy. 9 of Pentacles energy. You're very much single and minding your business and focused on yourself. 9 of Wands, you have learned your lessons here. You're soul searching. You're finding out some things about yourself spiritually, and it could be about someone else as well. Conflict here. Yeah. You could be trying to avoid conflict with someone who thinks that they can talk to you any kind of way, like they're entitled. 4 of Cups. You're in rejection mode. You're going to reject the water sign. But it could possibly be a Leo that's overly in their emotions. Somebody who's overly emotional, who's dramatic. Somebody dramatic. It could be a King of Wands that wants your attention right now. There's a King of Wands you walked away from. Something you found out that caused the Tower. Something you learned about a King of Wands, and it caused the Tower. This person wants to, they want to win is what they want. And what they want, they want your attention. It's bothering the hell out of somebody because they don't have your attention. This person could be a manipulator as well, but this is also somebody you walked away from because you were no longer emotionally satisfied with this person. Yeah, justice, something that is being made fair or balanced here. And it could have been a contract. You could have divorced this person as well. Yeah. See, you have new beginnings in love coming in because you've been patient enough to work on yourself. Patient enough to carry your own self. Like you've been carrying a load for a while, but you're carrying you. You're loving you. You're tempering your energy and having more patience with yourself. You probably even forgave yourself for what you may have learned concerning a partner that may have been on some level of life that you weren't aware of. Like they could have had some type of thing going on with them that you weren't aware of, dealing with another person perhaps. And you walked away from this person because of this situation. It's like a situationship that you may have cut ties with. Okay? It's a situationship that you got justice for the situation. It's something you learned that caused the tower, that caused this to crumble. Something crumbled. And it could have very well been a relationship. Yeah, you had to take your power back in the situation. You had decisions to make. It may not have been a very easy decision, yeah. Because you cut someone out here. We're going to talk about it. You cut somebody out. Could have been a Leo that you cut out. Somebody loved to flirt, loved your attention, but was very dominating in your energy. They're definitely watching you. Could be low-key stalking you too, because they want you to invest again with them. What happened with them, that it didn't work out. Whatever you invested with this particular person, you may have even had a home with them and everything, but it didn't work out. It didn't develop into what you expected it to. It didn't work out the way you expected it to. In fact, some things that happened that caused you to go away from this person was very unexpected. You could have found out they were dealing with other people, maybe even had a sexual relationship that you knew nothing about. You could have found out some things about this King of Wands. Okay, but they want you to invest again. But I don't think you are, because of third-party energies before, which you've already learned. You've learned lessons from this King of Wands. And so, like, you're having enough energy to where you want to take a leap of faith on yourself. You want to do something you've never done before. You want to take a leap of faith on you. And it could be a King of Cups with a lot of fire in their chart who owes you an apology. And you may end up rejecting this King of Cups for some of you. But what you're concentrating on is your new beginnings. What you're concentrating on is self-love and self-discovery. You're focusing on yourself. You're learning things about yourself as well. And you're taking risks because it feels good to you. You're exploring because it feels good to you. You're tempering your energy. You're not arguing with people. You're not giving people your energy that don't deserve your energy. You're not investing in people that don't deserve you to invest in them. You're not doing any of that. You're basically taking a risk on yourself. You're doing something you've never done before. Some of you are becoming single, and you've never been single before. Like you have not been in your own energy. Some of you are learning to be in your own energy, being single and enjoying singlehood, coming away from a possible breakup, marriage, separation, situationship that didn't serve, that you probably really did invest a lot of your time and money and efforts in, but it didn't work out. It crumbled, tower. And someone could have been breadcrumbing. Someone, you could have been dealing with a know-it-all. You could have been dealing with somebody who was doing the bare minimum, didn't want to carry their own weight, or they was trying to pressure you in a relationship to some extent. But they did have third-party energy here. And this is something you had to learn from. Like, you had to really go through this cycle more than 2 or 3 times in order to learn the lesson of this. That's possible too. But you finally decided to move away from it. 6 of Swords. Moving away from conflict, away from third-party energies, away from the lies, the deceptions, whatever it is. You moved away from it, even if it was fake apologies, even if you dealt with apologies in the past, where a person constantly apologized over and over, but they never did anything to change. These are the things you're walking away from, and you're literally moving away. Some of you are literally moving house. You're moving to another state. You may move to another city or another side of town. You're literally moving because to you, there's peace in moving. 6 of Swords. You're in search of your peace. And you're not letting anyone disturb that wish fulfillment that you have. Yeah, because that's 13 cups. See, you're going to reject anything that's not for you. You're going to ignore anything that's outside of the energy that you want for yourself, the peace that you want for yourself, the self-love that you're giving to yourself, the energy, the grace, the patience, you know, the soul searching, finding out more about you, being in your own energy, loving yourself, nurturing yourself, growing, developing, learning how to pay attention to your energies, what you're feeling, why you're feeling this way. This is wish fulfillment for you. This is peace for you. And you're going to ignore and reject any energies that's outside of that, any energies that don't align with that, including this King of Cups. You could be dealing with the water sign with heavy fire in their chart, or a fire sign with heavy water in their chart. But however it goes, somebody is totally emotionally manipulative, and they are very dramatic. Yeah, you see, this is what you're leaving behind. See? And you may have someone who wants you to feel this energy because this is the way they're feeling. Take it how it resonates, okay? Yeah, you're alchemizing the energy. You're transmuting for real. Yeah, you're overcoming illusions. You're not allowing anybody to stress you out anymore. No. Queen of Pentacles energy showing up here. Ace of Wands. You're coming up with new ideas. You're doing something you've never done before. You're taking a leap of faith with someone new, or you're doing something by yourself. Whatever it is, it's good. Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Strength card. Yeah, to the 10 of Pentacles. Whatever you're coming into, it's good. It's good for you. Whether it's a new beginning with work, creating your own business, creating your own world, whatever it is that you're doing, it's good for you. No more poverty, no more illusions, right? No more dealing with the energies that you can't trust, people who want to put you in third-party situations, none of that. People who don't want to pull their weight, they want to do the bare minimum while you do all the work, none of that. You're cutting out any of that. Co-workers, family, friends, ex-lovers, ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, baby daddy, baby mamas, whatever that is for you, you're cutting it out. Queen of Swords. Okay? And people they're willing to be aggressive because they don't know what's going on in your energy. They want back into your energy and they don't have access. Why? You're very much aware. Spiritual intervention, spiritual growth, spiritual downloads. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're very aware. There's the number 1. What does the number 1 represent? It represents that ace, that passion, that creativity that you have. That's what it represents. It represents your new beginning in love, starting with self-love. It represents that new beginning. That's what it represents. It represents your abundance. It represents the fact that you know you're going to win. And there's others who know you're going to win too, and they don't like it. Yeah, you see that? They go to number one again. That's Empress Energy, 111. That's Empress Energy, male or female. Yeah, positive moving forward. Yeah. Eight of Pentacles again, because you're focused, you're working on you. You're minding all of your business. You will get there. You can't force flowers to grow or plants to sprout. Be patient and respect that everything happens in its own way and time. And see, that's what I'm saying. You're probably burying yourself in your work to some extent. You're minding all of your own business here. Okay? But at the same time, there's like long-term that you're looking for. You're not dealing with people who are there for a good time, not for a long time, right? You're not dealing with fly-by-night situations, one-night stands with people. You're not dealing with any of that energy. That's all low vibrational. You're not doing it. You got the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck because you're not accepting anything less than what you deserve. You want them to come correct or don't come at all. That goes for anybody, any situation. That's how you're seeing it. Because why? You're structured. You're structuring things in your life. You're putting things in order, right? You could be tying up loose ends. You could be paying off credit cards. You could be getting yourself out of debt. It's a lot of things that you're doing right now. You're getting things together for yourself. You're seeing a whole new way for yourself. And you're not going to let anybody interrupt that. Yeah, you're making the decisions to cut things out that no longer serve you. People too, situationships, it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what it is. You're going to cut it out. If it don't align with what you want, if it doesn't align with newness of life, if it doesn't align with new love, if it doesn't align with new opportunities, you're cutting it out. That's what your decision is. Yeah, told you, yeah. You're cutting it out. See there? That lover that wants your attention. Why? Because they want to continue to create illusions. That's why. Got people talking, even in the workplace. People running their mouth. Don't know what's going on, but they only left to assume. They think they know. Devil energy. That's what you're leaving behind. And you've learned the lessons. You've learned the lessons that you needed to learn from this. You have. And the first lesson you learned was self-worth, self-love, becoming aware with self. Empress right behind it. You see what I'm saying? You went through all the gunk and the dryness of it, the evilness of it, right? The unequal treatment, the poverty of it, not being on the same page, the uneasy vibes, right? You've dealt with it. Investing yourself, overly giving, not knowing your worth, right? You've done that already. Putting up with people who likes to pick with you and talk about you and spread rumors. They don't know what they saying. They don't know what they talking about. They're only left to assume. But they take it and they run with it, trying to get other people involved, creating illusions and things like that. Some of y'all got people in the workplace, they jealous as hell. They jealous because you doing things with your life. You going places, you're doing things, you're meeting people, you can connect with people. People connect with you. People are comfortable with you. 3333 on the timer. A lot of y'all, you have spiritual gifts that you may not be aware of. You're about to be very aware. If you're not, you're about to be very aware of what those spiritual gifts are. Some of you are mystics. All you got to do is tap into your spirituality. Tap in. Because the Most High can't wait to communicate with you. Tap in. What you're doing, cutting out this devil energy. Because you got somewhere else to go. You got people to see and things to do. New people to engage with. Right? New energy, new life to engage with. Okay? That's what you have here. Yeah, and that's the truth. I'm glad I pulled it. Ace of Swords. Some of you are speaking your truth. Some of you are starting to live in your truth. Walk in your truth. Okay, and some of you are going to attract someone in that's going to align with your truth. So Aquarius, I hope that the messages were helpful, and I hope that they brought clarity for you. And until next time, take care.